but it's just a hard labor of love to back out the defense from those key positions. And even still, off of the proximal respawns, the defenders are actually getting some more ground to work with. Lots of exits kind of keeping the offense at bay.
Now let's talk about the Foundry a little bit more here, because along that top left-hand side, you have a flanking route, right?
Yep.
But when you go up there, you don't really have the ability to look out any windows. There's like one window along the way.
Yeah.
So it's not really a very powerful high ground position for attackers to take, but it's one you take if you want to wrap around.
And especially as this package takes this next turn, if you can get up into this top window position that's a little bit right in front of where Crimsix is, you can actually keep the defenders once again stuck kind of back into their spawn. So it's a three-man stack on the package. It is sprinting into this next control point, and this is going to be troublesome here for the defense, who need to find a way to come through because the ultras are getting close to being online.
Crimsix Aegis, that will be the one. That is going to be very scary if Team TP see that one coming. Oh, I like this. Okay. Aegis on the dead sec here. Ultra available. Looking to switch off any of those deployables that Team TP have in play at the time.
He just needs to stay alive because you have to assume the defense, with so much time still on the clock, are going to feel frisky enough to start popping those ultras out. But here's that top control room position we were talking about. Once again, it's Aegis holding down a key piece of land that could allow this offense to continue to move the package. And so far, I mean, the defense is having such a tough time getting out of the spawn for free.
Aegis, though, a lot of damage. No kills from this position. Grenade just steps outside of its radius. Aegis has done this a couple times before. Pentagram on the ground, though, getting a good amount of work done, but that package hasn't moved for a while. About to start, roll them back.
Yeah, and this retreat portion could be huge, but Slack, Aegis still continue to find kills, and no one can come out of spawn. I mean, this high ground spot is so good for the defenders, but Aegis keeps denying them any sort of route towards getting any sort of viewpoint. Now to the pistol beatdown combo as he ran out of ammunition, but Crimsix is going to get 3, and that should be enough to finish off the second checkpoint.
You think that'll get him there, surely. Slacked on his way in. Basely.
Wow.
Has some other ideas, though. I'm going to push him back. 2 for him. Attach, of course. With the sonar goggles, big plays here. Teammates a little bit unsure of themselves now.
And I want to say Aegis used the lockout, and I didn't see any other ultras that were being used defensively. You kind of saw the disruption happening on the utility board, but the defense, I don't think they were using any of their key ultras at that particular moment. So once more, the package starts to retreat, the defenders start to find the kills they need, and it's going to be a 4-for-1 exchange, defense now moving forward.
It's Spacely and John again rocking that right-hand side of the map. It is so hard. Those two are relentless. Teammates struggling for an answer here.
Yeah.
And yeah, Carlos be backing up.
Yeah, this is not good news here for the offense. They've lost their positions up top. They aren't really quite able to work over towards that smelting side. And honestly speaking, for a part of the map that you're starting to see a lot of ARs come into play, it's the SMGs again to the defenders that are starting to take over the map.
TP, Aegis, yep, looking a little crispy. Tried to make his way forward. TP really able to control the space pretty effectively. Oh, no! They walk straight into that one. Mag barrier be damned. TP does not care. The defenders are getting comfy.
Yeah, this is looking really good for TP's defense. I mean, we were kind of just cycling through the offensive side. I don't know if any of the attackers even have anything close in terms of ultras. Not the greatest nade from John, but he'll be all right. He's also close to what could be the definitive moment of this defense. He's really close to his second Aegis.
1 minute left here. Teammates to get that checkpoint and that extension, but Spacely keeps catching them off the spawn, and Crimsix takes one to the knee. Spacely is a menace right now, but the bot's getting ever closer. Spacely knows he needs to double back right now. His target on the other side of the boxes, looks like TP was able to stem the bleed there.
Yeah, that was a pentagram on the Purifier, so once again, another tool off the table. John, ready to go with Aegis if he needs it. He's just gonna hold right over the top of the package. And as soon as this gets down to about 20 seconds, yep, it's about time to pull this. You're gonna have to commit on in. Blocking damage, allowing his team a chance to move forward. Purify, it's a firebomb on the other side. The firebomb will actually get the elimination, so how about that interaction? He walks into the explosion. That's good for the kill, but Spacely, little pinch, trying to stop, but can he actually stop this second checkpoint? No, extra time on the clock.
That incendiary drone was clutch against the Aegis. John may be unaware, not sure, but he's just sort of hung around inside that flame trail and got burned for it. Team TP almost had it in the bag right there and then. Aegis get an extension. Now, is it a lifeline or is it a stay of execution? Let's see if they can get the map done with this allowment.
I mean, it's just one of those things with how hard-pressed Carlos was to get to that second checkpoint. Even having a little extra time to get it closer to things like 80% capture may be enough. Thing is, as we start to stretch in towards this final portion, Getting around this corner is the first test. The second is getting it through the threshold. Goggles out for the defense. First shot's not particularly great from Attach. Missing out on a chance for kills, and he will get one, but not a second. Good shutdown from Team Aches.
Slacked with 2 there. Shutting down a player with Ultra and his teammate. Make it 3. This is getting a little bit scary for Team TP. Yup, that's a big old bubble right in their way. Attach able to find Slack at least back off the spawn. But Carlos is encroaching. Oh dear, it's so scary. The Aegis Crimsix descends. And it looks like teammates have found themselves a bit of momentum now. That Ultra has expired, but they're 95% of the way. They're trying to look for their foes here. Pentagram found Attach. Crimsix not sure where the shots are coming from. It's going to be Spacely on the right-hand side. Able to bring him down. 99.2, so close. Not close enough.
Still a ton of time in the clock. Getting close to a second lockout here for Aches. That could be big if there was to be a final push. And an Ultra on the other side to try to deny it. He's still a long way out, though, I'll say that much. Bio Vita Boost trying to get pop, Slack trying to save his teammate, but doesn't quite work out, so now he's on his lonesome, and, well, actually, they C9 it. Wait a second. They get it from behind. They lost track of the payload, and they push it through.
Oh, goodness. The name of Charles IX getting invoked as well. Unreal.
Goodness gracious, what an ending we just saw. And while he wasn't able to join us today, we did actually get a chance to sit down with Enable to talk about what he thinks of slick and simple gameplay, some of which we just witnessed, and what he's experienced in xdefiant so far.
The mechanic in the game that impressed me the most would have to be just the overall movement, but to get more specific, it would be the tap strafing. So you can basically, while you're sprinting, you can slide, and in midair, you can readjust your player, just barely. It's not anything too crazy, but you can use it to engage in gunfights around corners, which makes it just a lot harder for you to be hit. It's all positioning. You can add some mechanical movement, and it really adds a skill gap.
Yeah, good to hear from Enable there and some of his experience with the game. Shame he obviously couldn't have made it to this best of 7, but we have no shortage of superstars in the lobby right now. Slack opting for a long sight line here. Mag barrier deployed by the attackers.
Yeah, and Incendiary Drone actually defensively thrown out just to make sure that, again, this stack up through the alleyway is not going to be a point of contest. But the attack is coming through, I think, from the other side of the map at the moment. Slack's trying to reposition. He's in trouble here. BioVita keeps him from burning alive, and then he takes the gunfight, shutting down Teep on the other side.
That's a big kill there, John, though. Able to get back in and was on the road here with the bot. This squad, man, absolutely terrifying Team TP when they get rolling. Team Aches, look, credit to them. Got the map done. Not a lot of time to work with, though. Took them hot minute to get there.
The thing is, Team Teeps, they're already in a good spot. You got Spacely over the top of Crane, but I think they got a teammate up top in the warehouse window as well. So the defense is going to get pressured on both sides. I don't know how you chow this right now, Uber. I mean, they are completely stuck trying to get across this open area. Spacely will be ducked down behind, but TP's going to get the double, and this is quick progress for the first checkpoint.
Yeah, this is what we were kind of afraid of. I think seeing Team TP on defense, their advantage, their strength is definitely translated now on the offensive side.
Wow.
Crimsix gets to 2 huge kills, but it's not enough to stop the bot for now. Spacely trying to use Carlos for cover, but Pentagram swoops on in. John off the respawn, though, is able to find a kill, needs to try and play around this. Mag barrier, he gets the better of 8. Oh, he's going to be fuming about that. Make it 3, and John, surely not, is going to get the bot to their first checkpoint as Crimsix in the nick of time stops him in his tracks.
I mean, come on, dude. 1v3 with an MP7 on the Phantom class, and he wins it all? Plus he captures the checkpoint? That is unbelievable. So much time now banked on the clock as Team TP really don't struggle, stutter, or find any obstacles whatsoever through that first segment of the map.
Here it is. TP on escort duty for the time being. Yeah, that was cute. Aches there, really hard to dig out of position. Aches able to get away with that extra kill on John. That's all it's going to be for now. 2 players on the package. Gets a little bit faster with extra bodies to push it.
That's still a 3-for-2 exchange. The offense is still moving. Carlos, no worries. Nades are out. Ake's going to take a challenge, but this feels very individualistic right now from Team Aches' defense, trying to just force themselves into gunfights, and now you've got a 3-man stack. Still 5 minutes on the clock, and they're going to start to threaten the second checkpoint.
Love the wrap there, though, Ian Porter. Beautiful stuff. And finally, Team TP are slowed down for the time being. Gives Aches and co chance to set up some of this defensive architecture there. Incendiary Drone gives Space a little bit of a tickle. He has to use that Bio-Vita boost to avoid getting burnt to a crisp.
But they still survive through it, a chance to threaten the high ground. You can see the alertness talking about that right side, smelting side. Package still moving. Spacely following up. Trade not fully in. Contest is out. And, well, he just gets completely baited into Pentagram's waiting arms, who does take down 3. Slack confirms his 4th, and that will be another team wipe coming out for the defenders.
All right, this is now Team X's time to put a gap between themselves and Team TP. Spacely, though, doesn't want to let them rest on their laurels. TP as well, chiming in, pushing up this right-hand side here. I think Spacely realized after dropping into 3 players on the left that they perhaps should approach on the other side of the map here. That's a mag barrier coming up. TP trying to break that one down. Pentagram playing that off angle on the left-hand side, been very hard to deal with.
Yeah, those little cubbies are just so hard to win out, especially in the face of Pentagram with an MP7 and the incendiary rounds. It's just deadly. I mean, you feel like you're in a blender sometimes when you walk on in here and there's subs on either side of you, but Spacely, Supremo comes out, tough gunfight with Crimsix, but the healing is so darn good. He eventually gets the assistance needed, and now a chance to try to get the second checkpoint, but Pentagram counters, Purifier on both sides, everyone burns, and that will be enough likely for the second checkpoint to come through.
Yeah, TP just trying to zone away. He doesn't even know if anyone's in that window. Aches just peeks into the Purifier and gets picked off. That's a checkpoint here. 4 minutes 43 left. That is plenty of time for Team TP.
Absolutely it is. I mean, you still have a couple of the key ultras that haven't even been earned yet on either side. Most notably the goggles, have not seen those yet. So we'll see if that will come through early, very early. Aegis coming through. You don't often get tested at this part, but I mean, they're running it. It's a 2-man stack. The package moving quickly, but it definitely feels like this is a bit of a miss as far as the timing on this bubble goes.
Yeah, look, 4 but that Aegis has now expired, and the last had the hairpin. Oh, right, wait a minute, Crimsix. He has something to say about it. One of his own drops straight down, finds 2.
The only thing that I could really kind of explain of saying why that wasn't the worst play ever is the fact that there's still 4 minutes left. And you have to assume that you're going to earn another bubble on the offensive side before the 4 minutes is over, but it still feels like an uncontested moment where you didn't necessarily need it. So it's a bubble for bubble. Ultimately, the defense able to put themselves in a nice position of power, but the offense have the proximal spawns, get back on. Kills come through. Crimsix careful. Don't want to fall here as now goggles are out, I think on both sides.
Yeah, this could be crucial here. Crimsix got to be aware of the flank potential attack on one. That's Crimsix down. Pentagram able to avoid the shots. The 5-7 has been a little bit slippery in Attach's hands so far today, but hey, the ACR does just as well. He's able to find 1 kill, but Aegis with a key nade over towards the package, plus that kill is going to slow the attackers down again.
And Spacely needs to control this high ground. This is such a key position if you want to try to not only set up a flank, but of course test the defensive setup from multiple angles. And hold on a second, no one even gets the read on this whatsoever. So it's an unbelievable now moment as Attached continues to work on the low ground. He gets shut down. Pentagram on the exit, trying to regen and reset the fight, and he, will he ever? So well done by Pentagram, slippery little serpent he is.
You had better get up early if you want to get the better Pentagram like that. Sliding straight into position there. Find an easy kill on Spacely. 2:49 on the clock. So plenty of time, realistically, for the attackers here to match John. It's all about John. That's 2 key kills getting through the Bio-Vita boost, make it yet another 3. And here comes Carlos. It's hard to push into this next part of the map. There's a mag barrier up here for John.
That's the key, and it goes down, so now he can isolate left to right. Chance for the stack to come out. 2 players are on. I don't know if there's any ultras to defend against this.
5.
They're still on the way in. Pentagram gets the double, but now at the final ticks to come through. Yes, they do it in faster time. How about that for an escort?
Oh, buddy, Team TP do it again. 2-0 here. Really starting to punish this Team X squad. And again, man, their SMG play so sick. I've got to say, Pentagrams does a great job defensively, right? It's not enough, though. My goodness, I'd be looking pretty heated on that X side if I was them.
Oh my goodness, I wouldn't be very happy either, because when I talked to them at the end of day 1, well, Ake said he might give TP 1 map here in the grand final, and well, he gave him both of the first 2 maps. Now halfway there for Team to be able to take the whole thing home. So, Uber, what is going wrong that you're seeing for Team Aches right now? Because they were so strong and they are a very good team. We just haven't really seen that show here yet.
So Team TP capitalized very quickly off the first break. They actually get a favorable gunfight, and straight away we go to Spacely. He's in crane position. We've got someone else playing from the high ground above the slag pit, in the warehouse. So straight away the defenders are pushing out of a choke. They were the ones that were actually defending a choke. All of a sudden, they're pushing into one themselves. So the credit to Team TP, they very quickly established very powerful positions just, outside of their own spawn, using the high ground, using the Gantry way, and they continue to convert that. I think you thought this Aegis here was maybe a little bit premature, but then you sort of said, hey, well, wait a minute. They're playing with house money.
Sure.
They've got 4.5 minutes here to make their way through. They get through a lot of these twists and turns with that Aegis, and then it's just brute force to get the job done.
Yeah, it definitely came across when you initially come around that corner. It's like, well, you just got 3 dead. Why are we popping bubble? But the thing is, like we mentioned, the time limit, I think, was the biggest part of that, is that if things do get tight near the end, you're going to re-earn it. And I think there's going to be a lot of evaluation for players, whether they're competitive or just looking to get their hands in the game, of when is the best time to use those ultras considering the clock. And looking over the scoreboard, once more, we've got a big pop-off on the losing side. Krim gets 7,100 total damage for the L, goes 33 and 33 even, but 27 assists. I mean, the guy was everywhere.
Well, he was everywhere, but it wasn't enough. So you have to wonder maybe that might be part of the problem, Shift, is that they are everywhere. They're not really maybe you working as a unit, as a team, having no cohesion that we know is so very important.
And outside of the first stretch of that second half where Team TP were getting in those power positions, the second stretch, we did kind of note that there were a lot of individual gunfights that were happening for everybody on Team X.
A lot of stagger from them, one at a time, drip feeding into that point and constantly being outgunned, outnumbered in many of those challenges.
Yeah.
Well, and what makes it worse, you're going up against someone like TP, the captain himself, with a Purifier. He has been so consistently flawless with its usage throughout the All-Star series. So we actually talked with TP about why he likes that Purifier so much.
My favorite Ultra is the Purifier. Again, no matter where you're located, there's nothing they could really do about it if they don't have a bubble shield or anything like that. Clear out a hill, flamethrower, they're gone.
Yeah, king of deforestation here. He turns up and all the trees turn to cinders. I get here, like, for TP, at the end of this clip is really interesting because he's basically zoning people away. He's like, okay, I have a good idea about where people might come from. I've only got a set duration to make use of this Purifier. Let's just cover the map.
And the thing that was really cool at the end of that clip, he actually elects to end the Ultra early, so that way he could get into position with a long-range weapon to keep that defensive line of scrimmage really far and up into the attacker's face. That's a brilliant piece, because I think a lot of people are going to say, I got my ultimate, I got to use it, I got to keep using it. But ultimately speaking, that is the perfect way to go about it. Take care of one in the back, clean up the zone, move back forward when he's got the ACR. So I love that usage from Teep.
Well, Teep looking to tack on another win with map 3. So let's take a look at where we're going and what mode we are playing. If there's a time for teammates to wake up, it's going to be on Noodleplex. It is going to be Occupy and Uber using, but you can't wait.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we had Noodleplex domination for Team TP versus Team Karma, thinking back to that first best of 5. It was sick. It was really back and forth. It was a game type that looked like it really favored Team TP. The captain himself really stepping up. Again, Phantoms are sick on Noodleplex. The mag barrier is really important if you want to control the middle part of the map. Unlike domination, you're not always fighting in that part of the map, right? So it's a little bit more nuanced, but I tell you what, when the point moves there, it's going to get spicy. I can't wait.
Noodleplex is on board, and this is where we saw TP's team shine when they were playing Team Karma early on. Can they do it again? Can they twist the knife a little deeper against teammates who have yet to see a map win? We'll find out in just a minute. Uber, Shift, are you guys feeling confident for teammates? Can they do it?
Oh, I don't know. Look, I can give the first map to Team TP, and I can say, okay, maybe Team A's a little bit slow to start. It's been a minute since that first best of 5, but 2 maps down and like having the same sort of weaknesses in both. I'm definitely concerned for them here, Shift. Team TP, I imagine, want to start strong again.
Yeah, and I think the thing on the flip is Aches and Co. just have to show supreme knowledge over the rotations on this map. How do you start off strong? How do you go from zone to zone here? Because if it continues to be Team TP just dominating in the kill feed, I do have worries. But to start, not bad. Opening time looking good for Team Aches, but I don't think they read that the spawns actually just flipped right then. So Team TP kind of come up from behind, surprise Team Aches' setup, and they get the counter break very quickly out.
Yeah, first point, of course, is going to be the middle part of the map here. So really gets us off and running, starting Noodleplex here for Occupy. And again, oh my goodness, it's been all about Team TP so far. They get that early control. We're almost done with this point, though, so gonna have a rotate away.
Is it just me, Uber? Do you feel like every time we have like a 50-50 battle, somebody on Team TP pops up with a three-piece? We saw it from John there on the break. Attach follows up to continue on the hold. Now, not a lot of time between these two, but again, that spawn flip we're talking about, that's going to have major implications as the next zone's going to be right behind the backside of Spacely, and they're going to have a really good forward setup here to get a read on where this hit's coming from as kills continue to favor Team TP.
I mean, we're watching Spacely, but the rest of his teammates are doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now. Spacely, though, again, this is a key role, right? He goes towards new early, tries to catch some rotations through the periphery. TP there also cut down, so very important opportunity for teammates to start to establish themselves in this round.
Yeah, I think they get a little bit too greedy, though. The setup just gets a little bit too far forward, and I believe Team X just got graced with a spawn flip just because they're getting beat up so badly. So it's one of those moments of you're being a little bit too dominant in the kill feed, forgetting to anchor up those spawns. Team X will take small lead as we have still 20 seconds to fight for. Attach working with the rest of his squad mates to make sure there's some sort of contest, and they will get their break for the back 15.
We can expect this to be pretty close for the next 30 to sort of 60 seconds here, as both these teams are basically alternating time on the point. The fact that TP get this Team TP really gets this jump time is pretty big. Attach, also a crucial frag there. We actually had a player, Pentagram, playing pretty far forward on new, and it'll be traded out eventually, but yeah, good info.
And this is one of those zones that it's still in the middle of the map as far as how you go across the lanes, but it does favor this right-handed side. So it really comes down to, can you get this control in through mid? Because I always believe that this double window setup is so hard to break through. And you see TP trying to take that into his grips immediately, but Crimsix gets a triple, shuts down the setup, and Team X start accruing more time.
They had him on 3 angles there, not much TP could have done. John trying to surge out, gets the trade, but that is going to be it. Teammates getting in position early here and really capitalizing now, making the most of this hill.
And they're doing a really nice job just kind of reading when spawns very well may move. You just kind of set that little gut check reaction right at the end to get the read on the player trying to hit the long-sided flank. So 12 seconds of scrap time, looking good for Team X as they now start to move right across the middle to the other side. Again, it's still in the middle of the map. It's just defaulting to the left side prospectively rather than the right. Just comes down to, can you get a setup and hold when it comes down to the spawns being all mixy.
Yeah, Axe has got a pretty good idea about some of these spots to train his crosshair on as he comes around the corner. He sort of knows that Spacely is going to be in a power. We call it a headshot box, essentially. This time, though, looking a bit better for Team TP. They have the numbers. Attached now. Has the sonar goggles, and this time he's connecting these 5-7 hits.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd zone, and he's already earned one of the hardest ultras, I would say, to get, especially considering that you don't have the same kind of team play in the base of your utility that the other factions do. So that is an impressive early earn from Attach. He's already at 15% of the next one. I mean, he's really teeing off early, 17-9 off that quick look. But all that said, Team 8 still find a way to get on the objective and grow their lead.
3 players from Team TP now working the extremities of this point. Attach wants to make sure no one's hiding in wait. Crimsix was there, nice little wrap position. But as Attach makes that approach, his team gets cut down.
Yeah, and this is dangerous now all of a sudden because as we start to siphon over towards the other extremity of the map, right behind the noodle sign in particular, you've got goggles out for Slack, so it's not Aches running it. Maybe they have double echelon, hard to say, but we have not seen Slack on this 5-7 and a chance to kind of break things out, but no, shots just are not quite landing in these two, and that will lead to an opportunity for Team TP to hold on to the setup.
Medico Supremo here for Aches. Considers on the Libertad class now, 1 at 3. Gave him another one, 4 for Aches. The spawns come in very close to him though, so he's not able to really convert too much on those, but hey, good lead for Team Aches, and that's going to make it even harder. Hey, better check your 6, John. Crimsix comes up from behind.
Huge break, key break for Team Aches. Team TP, again, they were throwing a lot at that zone, trying to hold on and get themselves back into the game, but now from the front, kills start to come through. Zone goes neutral for now. Everyone's still fighting from the front side. Attach changes it up, though. That will be enough for him to get the kill. And you would think, allow Team TP to jump on in, but still the bubble's being played here for Crim, and they're using this for every final second at our previous zone.
Yep, I would say max value out of this Aegis has been acquired by Crimsix & Co, and they are close to doubling Team TP's score. Looking pretty dire for the team that has started the series so strong, and had us feeling pretty confident for their fortunes coming into this map. We're back to the middle. Kill is going to be on the fountain.
Yeah, and I will say this was a great zone from Team TP, but so far, the zones that find themselves in the middle of the map, talking about the 1st, the 3rd, and the 4th, Team X has done a better job of reading the spawns and controlling the tempo of the map. So that's going to have to change here in the second rotation of zones for Team TP as we swap back on board with Spacely, trying to finish it off, but he's ran out of ammunition, has to go to the reload, and well, that leads to an opportunity for Team TP to essentially get taken away from the outsides of our first zone. Team X back on, accruing more time.
Yeah, Team TP struggling so far, no doubt about it. Like digital ghillie suit somehow able to avoid John for the time being, but John finds another three-piece. That is going to be absolutely crucial. We're going to need to see that a couple more times to get Team TP back in this game. And look at that, Pentagram wastes no time in getting back to the point.
Yeah, but they do spawn in place. Now it just comes down to don't do what you did last time, which was kill too good and get flipped because you're pushing too far forward. So you can kind of see there's more of an anchor. He's actually proactively going to pull the Purifier, trying to shut down the play from the front, but he just completely gets bamboozled by the play around the back, and that's enough for a shutdown.
There's a slight wind-up on the Purifier there as well, so TP has to almost preempt someone pushing around the corner without giving away the fact that he is waiting for people there. All right, another Sonar Goggles here for attack. This one, a little bit less shock and awe, that's for sure.
That seems like a miss right there. Remember that moment, because for Team TP, those are two crucial ultras that get earned up, but ultimately, you don't really come away with much. One kill with the Purifier, a little bit of information, but they don't hold on to the zone the entire way through. In fact, Pentagram gives it another try. He's in a little 1v1 at the old time, and Krim will help turn the tides around. That's good enough for a little bit of a break here for Team X.
Yeah, they are continuing now to lengthen that lead. Next hill coming up real soon. Crimsix want to play some of these longer angles alongside fellow rifler Aches. Again, it's on that Libertad class, so a lot of benefits to playing close to a Libertad teammate. Hang on there. Snarl it up a little bit on the play quickly. Aches now heading over towards the hilltop with John on the wrong side of that barrier, but Spacely at least is able to trade.
I think with that route, Aches was really trying to get a Supremo in for that break attempt, but there's just too many members to deal with, so now you sit behind the bagsec barrier. Krim really close to earning another Aegis as he will just run right in towards the zone. Good follow-up from Slack, who does get at least a little bit of boost off of Aches, eventually getting that Supremo down. But the Aegis to respond comes out from John. He's going to run two. Pentagram with the bounce back, and now a 50-50 scramble for the last scrap.
No self-preservation instinct at all for Pentagram, and it doesn't matter. He's able to find those two quick kills and shut down the Aegis player. Aches, quite timely his arrival here, catches Spacey from an off angle and doubles it down. This is all Team Aches all the time right now.
The saucy transfer from Aches just snaps over to the second. Gets two, Pentagram gets the final. Over towards Slide. Krim thinking about it. Oh, but over the top. He actually gets scouted out. Big kill from John. It looked like there was about to be an Aegis pop, but now everything resets.
Attach, yeah, trying to be cute. Slack saw straight through it, literally. And coming off the rip, he's able to get back involved once more. Team TP getting up to 120 here. There is opportunity, but it can't be allowed to go begging. And Crimsix wants to shut it down. Brings out the sidearm. Spacely decimated. Aegis available here. 30 seconds left on the zone.
Incendiary drone just to clear a little bit of space. Contest from the opposite side, attached shut down. Spacely, essentially by himself, needs to wait for help. But the thing is, there may not be a lot to come here. I mean, you've got a little bit of help from TP, but look at the setup from Team X. They still can reinforce from multiple angles. Kills are looking good, and now the lead once again reestablished at 40+ seconds.
And Krim was going to come back with the Aegis if he really needed it. If there was more time left on the zone, you may have seen it. But he'll save it to secure basically the win right.
Should be that way. Just comes down to can they get into position for him to safely pop this. Trying to clear space over through the slide area. Setup looking pretty good for Team TP in the back. Can they hold? Can they anchor? Do they have any ultras to try to lock things up? May not need it. First 3 kills are good.
Crimsix might get a call there. Didn't quite get to the point, but the rest of his teammates are there. John needs a top up. Team TP needs this zone to get back into the game.